There are still several genres in gaming I still haven't fully experienced, visual novels being definitely one of them. I only really played a few like Danganronpa and oh god, that's about it. I've been planning to play some more in the future, like House of Fate Morgana, which looks absolutely beautiful, and Tiny Bunny, which looks like an amazing horror experience. But today I'll be talking about two indie visual novels that were released a couple years ago. Milk Inside a Bag of Milk and Milk Outside a Bag of Milk. Created by Nikita Kryukov, are two psychological horror experiences. And you know me, I love some psychological horror. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. The game opens up with a title screen. Our main character, I don't think she has a name actually. Let's see. Girl or Milk-chan? Yeah, I'm not calling her that. So instead I'm just gonna name her Optimus Prime. Yeah, that sounds pretty badass. Anyway, she's explaining how she needs to go to the store to buy milk. And then a voice comes out and starts talking to Optimus. Here the player can choose some of these dialogue boxes. The voice is just in her head so she can read Optimus' thoughts. The voice explains to Optimus how they need to hurry to the store and get the milk before it closes. But for Optimus, it's not so easy. See, Optimus is a very shy person, or rather has issues with talking with other people. Despite that, the voice insists that we should go and get the milk for mom's sake so she won't get mad. We enter the store and we get in contact with a something, where I assume it's a person. This thing only says "oh." Despite asking the person what they mean, they just constantly repeat it over and over again until Optimus asks "oh" as a question. The person then leaves and we can move on to the milk section. Finally getting to the milk, Optimus goes to the cashier, but it's not so easy. Again, she has a hard time talking with people. The cashier is still very weird looking, but this one at least looks a bit more like a person, or actually rather more like E.T. Telling Optimus she can't have the milk. And after arguing for a while, the voice in her head is like, bro, just pay for the milk. And the Optimus is like, ah. So she does and gets the milk. Walking home from the store, she stops at a bench wanting to talk to someone else. That being us, the player. During this, she asks the player some couple of questions about us and what we do and stuff like that. And then she reveals her father died by jumping out of the window. It's pretty obvious she had a very rough life, and especially during these last few years. Even going on a lot of medication just to calm her nerves down. She usually don't go outside anymore, and this was the first time in a long while. Finally getting home, we are met with this creature who appears to be her mom. Did you bring the milk? Hi mom. Did you bring the milk? Yes mom. Did your new medicine help? Yes mom. Go to bed. Yes mom. She gets sent to the room and yeah, that's it. That's the game. You're just going to the store, buying milk, coming home, and that's it. And my god, this game was very underwhelming. Like, I know it cost like $1, but like, come on man, I expected something a bit more. I mean, in the dialogue, if you berate her much, she will say this, which honestly maybe just fucking laughs. Just like, look at this, it's just so funny. I saw this game had overwhelming positive reviews on Steam, and I saw people talk about how they loved it on Twitter, and I like, okay, I mean, yeah, sure. But hey, I'm not here to judge, okay? I'm not going to judge anyone who thinks this game is a masterpiece, because if you do, you know, fair enough. Plus, I can assume for many, this game was probably very relatable to them. The way Optimus has a hard time talking to people, taking a lot of meds just to calm their nerves down. Plus, the one thing that this game does have advantage of is that it is short. In my opinion, too short, but for some people, that could be a positive. A lot of visual novels are like 60 to 100 hours long, like extremely long games. But this one is only 15 minutes, so for many, it's just like, hey, you know, 15 minutes, you're done. You know, otherwise, it wasn't bad, just kind of like a meh experience. Here's hoping the second game is better. Milk Outside a Bag of Milk. Okay, these games, they're not winning any naming award. I think the names are kind of dumb, but, you know, they probably have some deep meaning that I don't see, but... Get on with it! The sequel starts out way more interesting with an opening cutscene, and dude, it looks so cool. It's basically a short summary of the first game, but man, I really love the art style. Reminds me a lot of Omori, not gonna lie. After the cutscene, Optimus is in their room and starts seeing a bunch of shadows with faces on them, almost like they're mocking her. Out of the shadows, however, a big creature comes and grabs her arm and starts putting their long nail inside her arm to inject her with something white, telling her to say to never want to drink milk again over and over again until she screams it out of the top of her lungs. After that scene, she's in the bathroom brushing her teeth, after that incident, everything is normal, and getting ready to go to bed. And here we can just see how many pill bottles she has to take. I mentioned earlier that in the first game they talked about how to take pills to calm her nerves down, but damn, this is a lot of pills. I don't think it's just for nerves, I think it's mostly for everything almost. Preparing for the bed if the boys comes back and start talking to her again.
You got nothing to say till I tell you, unless I ask you a direct question.
So after talk for a bit, she doesn't want to go to sleep and she gets kind of bored. So the boys insist on imagining her thoughts as fireflies. But by doing so, the fireflies scatter and you have to help her find them and make her feel better. So like the first game, it's a visual novel, but this time it's also a point and click game, clicking on objects to see what they do. Oh, a radio, I wonder what it does.
My fellow Americans, as your President and Commander-in-Chief, it is with a heavy heart.
Okay, never mind then. But clicking on the other object, I will have Optimus say something about the item and reveal more about themselves. Like clicking on the backpack will reveal during her last day she was dragged away from school by her father while biting and kicking him, and after dinner they just went into their own rooms and didn't talk more that night. Or with the PC, how she claims to have so many friends, people with the same hobbies as her, like editing, modeling and so on, but all of those were online and in her mind they're not really real, just a bunch of codes. While I do think the first game did an okay job of giving us a perspective on how her personality is, I think this game gives a lot more insight. We can visually see her panic attacks and how much stress her daily life can be, seeing her crumble at the simplest of thoughts. And while we're on the topic of the visuals, I really like how the game looks, and it is so much better than the first one. Like, I get the point of the first game was to look like one of those old adventure text games, and it didn't look bad, just kind of basic in my opinion, but the sequel improves a lot. A lot of the shots are really nicely drawn with different angles, and the colors of red and black really mix well together. And I love Optimus' design. Her design is probably one of my favorites I've ever seen from any visual novel, at least the ones I have played. And the music is really good too. Again, the first game was okay, it had some good tunes, but overall it was more atmospheric, was trying to be more like unsettling. And it's the same thing here, but I think there's a lot more variety in the tracks, there's a lot of more great tracks. Like I'll Be Here for a While is a great one, super relaxing. And same with Sleepy, that's another really great one. But I also love the more creepy and unsettling tracks, like Love Music with these dark, long guitar riffs that creates this intense atmosphere. It is so cool. So overall, the second game is a big improvement over the first game. I really do think this is a sequel that improves upon the first one in every single way. Another really awesome part about this game is that it has multiple endings, depending on what order you click on the objects and which speech bubbles you click on. What's really cool about the endings is that they all have these different art styles. I was originally going to explain the endings, but honestly, I think you should experience them for yourself, alongside this game of course. If you couldn't tell already, I had a very good time with Milk Outside a Bag of Milk. Not only as a visual novel, but as a game, it was a very good experience. I would highly recommend it, especially those who want a short but unsettling experience, or for those who just want to get more into visual novels. It feels like a really good starting point. So if you guys will excuse me, I'm about to go and read more manga, so I'll see you later.